That is wonderful. I'd heard so much about you. We are truly blessed, truly blessed. Thank you. My name is Kitty Oliver. I'm a beloved child of God. I'm here to promote healing, to promote peace in my life and the lives of all I touch. And I'm here in my own special God-given way to change the world. Now that's powerful. I don't always feel that, but I know that somewhere in the deepest sense of me. I know that. And we're all sitting here this morning with an intention of some sort. It might not be exactly what I outlined, but we all have it. And that's what I wanted to talk about a little this morning, about intention as a spiritual skill. Our senior minister, Reverend Frank Phillip, has been talking this summer about the series of spiritual skills, and last week he talked to us about how to deal with distractions, things that take us away and divert our attention from something else we should be doing, things that interfere with our concentration. Intention that I want to talk about is different from attention. So let's make that clear to begin with. Attention is what we focus on. And if you're anything like me, I have a way of focusing on things I really shouldn't be focusing on. And certainly it's a lot of it has to do with what's missing. That makes me feel even more dissatisfied, and of course that can spill over into the rest of your life. But I also have the choice, and I know as a Unity student I can focus on gratitude. Instead of yearning for something I don't have, I can focus on the treasures I do have and the things I can be content with. But there's something about intention. Deepak Chopra calls it one of the 7 laws, one of the 7 spiritual laws. Intention. So what is it? Intention is a plan, an objective, an aim that guides your action. Intention is a course of action that one intends to follow. Action is the key to intention. It's not just a wish and a desire. It's something you mean to do. And you mean to take action. And there are 3 steps in intention. First of all, naming it. What is your intention? Naming it, giving a name to it. And then claiming it. Where is God in it? Where is God in that intention? And then finally expressing it. What are you going to do about it? Okay. The power of intention is having a spiritual objective and taking a spiritual action. I've been asked to speak today. For those of you who don't know me, it doesn't matter. But I am a member of Unity of Hollywood. And I have been a member for, I guess now, about 17 years, 17, 18 years. I lose count now. That's how long I've been coming. And we're here to celebrate a mighty intention because we have a church that is 51 years old now this summer. 51 years. Imagine when Unity of Hollywood was started here in this site, there were 441 was West Broward. Anybody who's lived here that long, and there were dairies and cow fields and all that. There was nothing else beyond that anybody would ever want to see or be a part of. Hollywood was a community primarily of Jewish people because when the Jewish people moved down here to South Florida, there were restricted signs in the 60s in Fort Lauderdale saying no dogs or Jews allowed on a lot of the places on the beach. And so as professional people moved to this area, they found Hollywood to be a welcoming space. We didn't have many Hispanics to speak of. We didn't even have an open housing ordinance. So if you were of color, if you were black, you had to live on one side of the tracks. That was what happened when this church was founded. So just look at all the history that's happened around it as well as within it to get us here today. We're also celebrating the mighty intention of a young man, Reverend Frank Phillip, who is celebrating this month 7 years as a minister, as our minister here. 7 years. 7 years. 7 years. And we're going to talk a little bit more about what that means, because that is phenomenal for a new minister coming out of ministerial school. I think he said that people usually only last 2 years or so. But the intention of a church, let's just be clear, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. said, people come to God's church with broken hearts. They need a word of hope. The church must say that God gives you the power, the inner strength to transform your liability into an asset if you have faith. And certainly the founding of Unity of Hollywood was based on that, being a place where people could come and receive hope and express faith. I wanted to recognize people who were here nearly from the beginning. I won't date you that far, but people like Judy Simonson, people like Roy. I don't see Roy here. Judy, right there for people. Right, and Roy. People like Chuck, who's always floating around here. People like Georgette, who was here. People like Sharon. These people were here when I arrived, looking for a spiritual space at 17 years ago. I'd had an awakening. I had a sense that there was something more. And when I walked into these doors, I had the feeling, like so many of you have had since then, that I was home. And yes, the church and its size had a lot to do with it being a family church, but there was even more than that. There was what I heard in the words that were spoken from this platform, what I heard in the music that was spoken. It lifted me up and reminded me of who I am as I started out, that beloved child of God. Yes, I've made mistakes. Yes, I will probably continue to make some. Yes, I may not be where I would like to be, but I am at the essence, at the core of what really matters. I am a beloved child of God, and therefore I inherit all that God is. And we know that God is the unchanging principle of all joy, all peace, all love, all harmony, all wholeness, all healing. That is my legacy, and that was what I found walking in these doors, and that's what's kept me here all of these years. Now, I introduced myself as Kitty Oliver kind of intentionally, because up on the screen they've got Dr. Kitty, and some of you may hear that, and it's been kind of an odd thing for me these last 5 years or so, that people are calling me Dr. Kitty, and that's something that has generated out of Unity of Hollywood. But what it has to do with a divine idea that was implanted in me a while ago, that I really wanted to go on and get a doctorate. That had been a dream in the back of my mind since I was in my 20s. Life interrupted me. I went into another career, came out of that, got another degree, another career, but somewhere in the back of my mind I had that. The opportunity came to do that for 3 years and to do that work to become the doctor. So whenever I hear that name, which is what Reverend Frank gave me and it's given to you all, it is a reminder that the intention I had was God-given. The delay had a lot to do with me feeling I wasn't worthy and couldn't do it, and goodness knows once I passed, I thought, how could I be in 61 years old and getting a doctorate, and what the heck are you going to do? You're supposed to be retiring now. What are you thinking about? How can you spend all that time? Your brain is fried. There's no way you could sit there. You're going to be there with all those younger people who couldn't, all those younger people there. You're going to be working with people who were colleagues, and now suddenly you're going to be sitting in their class trying to learn with them because I learned from them because I had been teaching. All of those things. But just hearing and seeing that reminds me, you did it. That was an intention that you fulfilled. And more than thank you. But more than anything else, to come to Unity every Sunday or to classes or whatever and have people come up and say, I want to do such and such. You can do it. I want to go such and such. You can do it. It becomes a reminder of what is possible. So when you live your intention, when you find it and you live it, you have an opportunity to affect the world. So imagine the intention of this minister, because I wanted to say for a minute that he came here, and there are a lot of us who believe he was kind of divinely guided, because goodness knows there have been a lot of challenges. But he had the intention of staying. Reverend Frank had the intention of building unity of Hollywood. Reverend Frank had the intention of creating this church that would be open and inclusive, that would embrace people, that would be a source of joy and love and upliftment, that you would be encouraged and enlightened. And that's a powerful intention that you feel when you come in to Unity of Hollywood now. The intention of members of Unity of Hollywood. If you're a member, will you raise your hand? Yes, look at our members. To grow, to learn, to commune together, to go to classes, to work in the community, to be committed to this idea of inclusion and acceptance, and to welcome people and be a welcoming presence when you come. That's a powerful intention that we have here, and we act on every Sunday and through the week. And we know through the intention of Unity and its teachings is that we are also at a personal level responsible for our lives and the actions we take. We're responsible for our thoughts. We're responsible for our growth. So I want you to think for a while, what is your intention for your life right now? Where is God in it? And what are you doing about it? What is your intent? You want money? What is your intention? You want health? What is your intention? You want relationships? You want support? You want friendships? What's your intention as a member, coming to a Unity, as a Unity student? You want to be fed and loved and healed? Do you want to stay and explore spirit and be a part of a community? Do you want to join and participate and continue to express spiritual power? What is your intention here? And there's nothing wrong with whatever the choice is, but just being aware of your intention. And then where is God in your intention? And we know here at Unity, and we espouse that there's only one power and one presence, God the good, the omnipotent, and our essence is God, and we are expressions of the Christ Spirit. Our thoughts create our reality, and we connect to God through affirmative prayer and meditation, and we live the truth through our thoughts, our words, and our actions, right? God is the divine idea of love, peace, harmony, and expansion, and it's always a forward movement. So what slows us down then, even when we have good intentions, right? Because we have to really investigate. What is your intention? Is your intention to be right? And sometimes we have that. Well, we'll have opportunities. That may be your intention, to be right. And then you meet up with somebody else who intends to be right. And then you may have what you call a righteous battle going on for it. Is your intention to be angry? Well, you can find a lot of things to make you angry. Feeling overlooked, feeling put upon, feeling stressed out. Is your intent to be discontent? Oh, there are a lot of things to unnerve you there, right? No matter what anybody does, it's never enough. No matter how anybody does it, it's never enough. Is your intent to be unchanged? That could be it as well then, and you'll stand your ground no matter how many signs you get that what you're doing is not working. That attitude is not working. That place you are is not working. Those people you're around are not working. So what's your intention? Well, I want to share, and I'll tell on myself as I do sometimes. I've had 2 Saturdays that have been very interesting. Saturday before last Saturday, I guess, a week ago. I had quiet days. They were both alike in the sense that nothing was going on. I had a very busy week, time to relax on Saturday, looking forward to coming to church, all of that. So last Saturday, I had an intention. I spent it feeling sorry for myself. Nobody could understand that. In the pity pot, nobody's had it. On the pity pot, I didn't want to answer the phone, and that was fine. No one called me. I'm sure the universe got the message that nobody needs that stuff. Oh, I had some waterworks going too. Even little tears. Oh, nobody knows the trouble I've seen. Right, Rev? Oh, poor me. And as Rev was saying last week, I had to start laughing. What's wrong with you? Absolutely nothing. You wanted quiet time. But I really had set that intention. I guess I was going to feel sorry for myself. Today was a quiet day and there was nothing else to do, so I was going to beat up on myself. Fortunately, I was able to come to church the next day. And as soon as I walked through the doors and saying hello to people and being around the energy there, all of that, just melted away. Now, yesterday, here I was. I had the intention, well, I can repeat last week, or I can do something different this time. Same time. I watched television shows I wanted to see. I read some books, finished a couple of books I had been reading. I enjoyed that. I did a little work around the house. Time just flew, and I got ready to come to church here. Intention is very, very important. And to check ourselves. It's not always going to be perfect, but what is your intention? Coming here to Unity has allowed me to take classes, to go to the 4T class, and I urge you to take advantage of some of the opportunities that are offered here, because it's a matter of personal growth beyond what we do here on Sunday. And one of the things I'm working, and being here and actually speaking to you now is part of my personal growth, because I never thought 5 years ago that I would be doing meditation, for instance. I've never prayed aloud. It still astounds me, and it's, it's a little shaky every time. Or getting up to speak. I can talk about the work I do, which I'll mention in a minute, but actually trying to talk about what the truth principles mean to me is very new. And as a result of hearing Edwin Gaines here last year talking about debt, that became something that has been a mantra for me. She said, financial debt is a result of unforgiveness of ourselves and others. Financial debt is a socially acceptable way of punishing ourselves. And when we no longer have to punish ourselves for anything, we'll find a way to have that debt disappear. With intention, that's something I'm working on, and I'm beginning to see it manifest in my life of becoming debt-free as a result of that. So finally, what is your intention? Knowing what your intention is, identifying where God is in that intention, which is the spiritual direction that is always towards the positive, it's always moving forward. Then it's a matter of, as the Bible tells us, letting your light shine before others so that they may see your good works and give glory to your Father in heaven. My work has to do, and I'm going to finish on this note, with creating bridges across races and cultures wherever possible, creating dialogues on television, the web, and other kinds of media where people can begin to talk about who we are beneath all of those labels we have. And healing can come as a result of that. I just wanted to play you this one clip from a woman in Boca Raton who shared her oral history experience. She had been a product of integration and had had a lot of problems, she's black, when she went to integrate at this high school. And years later, she talks about an experience at a church event on racial healing.
I went to a seminar because of my church that I go to and the things that I'm involved with. We're multicultural as well. I went to a seminar on inner healing, and integration happened to be an issue that came up for me as someone was talking to me, and a white male and a white female ended up, and a Chinese female ended up coming before me and apologizing. over all of the hurt and the pain that had been caused. And it was good. It was good. It was caused healing. Caused healing to come.
Intention to heal, to promote peace, can be very powerful. At least it has been for me. And maybe you are still trying to find out or define your intention. And that's okay too. That's where prayer and meditation comes in, when you're not sure, when you want to get into alignment. Next week, Reverend Frank is going to talk about the spiritual skill of prayer and meditation. But I went to a prayer retreat at Unity Village, and the person running the retreat told us to really, if you can think about intentional, what I call intentional prayer, in the sense of feeling the power that we're a part of, allowing it to flow through you, and just remembering, waking up, remembering who you are and all that you are. And then you can release whatever doesn't work and let it go. Feel the power. So of course I'm writing a song about it. And step into the flow. Remember who you are. And then release and let things go. When you know the secret of the rhythm of the Spirit, there is only you, there is only me, there is only love. Come on, feel the power, and then allow it to flow. Remember all that you are, and then release things and let go. When you know the secret of the rhythm of the Spirit, there is only you, there is only me, there is only love. Sing it with me. There is only you, there is only me, there is only love. Again. There is only you, only me, only love. Last time. There is only you, there is only me, and there is only love. Thank you so much.